All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, I find all of you well. I know I probably sound different today. Um, I'll tell you why I sound different today. It's because today we're doing something different. We're not doing gameplay. We're not doing regular streams over on my love seat. We are doing a special retrospective event, which means I am from a different location. I'm actually right now somewhere broadcasting in the Cayman Islands. On the beach sipping a Mai Tai. It's great. Very tropical flavors. And the tide is rolling in behind me. No, it's not. Boy, if only, right? No. I'm still in my office here. But I'm over in front of the PC setup. And that means that the camera is in a different position. The microphone's in a different position. And sadly, you could probably hear a fan blasting behind me. As of today, it's relatively cool here in Washington State. It's only about, in my office, 76 degrees right now, which actually is pretty reasonably nice. Outside, it's kind of cool. So right now, I don't even need to have the air conditioner blasting or anything yet. It's not on. It's just on fan. So which is why you can hear that atmospheric noise behind me, of a fan blowing. But over the course of today, I might have to change that, especially if the sun comes out, which it very well may. I might have to turn on the air conditioner, so it's going to sound differently today, all right? That's okay. Today is the special retrospective marathon event, my friends. How are y'all doing, first of all? I'm coming back from a break yesterday, my day off, and I swear, stuff seems to happen when I'm not here. For the most part, stuff seems to happen when I'm not here. And it's quite frustrating. It is, because, as you guys know, recently, I have changed up the way that I do my streams and my pre-streams. I listened to all of your feedback, and you guys told me you didn't want to hear a bunch of advertisements and rules on the pre-streams anymore. And I said, all right, well, if that's the case, you guys are just tired of the same thing every day. Let's do something different. And I started turning my pre-streams into me talking about various topics, whether it's my own gaming schedule and events going on with my business and life and stuff like that, or talking about current events, And you listen, a lot of content creators talk about current events, but a lot of content creators turn that into the entirety of their existence on the internet. I'm not about that. I'm a gamer. I want to put out gameplay content. I want to have fun with you guys, but I also have the ability to talk about current events if I want, right? And so I've been taking about, maybe roughly half an hour to an hour a day to talk about current events on the pre-stream. And you guys have really seemed to enjoy that. And I'm going to keep doing that. But it seems like the most events always happen on my day off. So today we've got a lot of stuff to talk about on the pre-stream. All right, we got a story about Microsoft, a story about Crysis remaster, a story about Nintendo, and a story about The Last of Us 2, and conspiracy theories that apparently are being proven true, which actually is very disappointing to me. Okay? Plus, a brief update on the whole Twitch TV banning of Dr. Disrespect and all of that. So, we got a lot to talk about on the pre-stream today. Alright, but outside of that, what are we doing today? The retrospective marathon event. This is an event where we go down memory lane. You guys have been nominating your favorite moments from my 11 plus years as a content creator over the past month. Okay? Really awesome. Thank you to everyone who did step up and nominate stuff. We had quite a lot of nominations. I have gone through all of them, and I have tried to kind of weed out the ones that I felt would be really good to watch together. Also, there's some I have no idea what they are. I didn't have time to watch the full thing, so there's some of these things may be great. Some of these might be duds, admittedly. Okay? So we'll see. We shall see what happens on today's event. This is always a good event. Usually there's gameplay, there's vlogging, there's reviews, there's countdowns, there's all kinds of stuff. Today we're even doing something cool with old school archives of what my channels used to look like on YouTube. This is going to be a really fun event. I really enjoy doing it. So I just want to say in advance before we even get started, thank you guys to everyone who nominated stuff. Thanks to everyone who subscribed to the channel 2 months ago that allowed us to hit the goal for this event so we could do it. And thanks for hanging out with me today. this stream is going to go long. Usually my stream starts around 10:15 a.m. and goes till about 4 p.m. Well, today's stream is going to go till 7 p.m. or later because this is a marathon-style stream, okay? That also means I will be taking some breaks in between there, you know, to use the restroom, to have some food, etc. during the course of the stream. So please understand that. It's not a normal stream. There's going to be, you know, some breaks and stuff in there. But it's going to be a great stream, all right? Last time we did a marathon stream like this was the end of February. I know it seems like forever ago because that was before the pandemic outbreak here in the United States. And during that marathon event, it was the birth of the vest streak. People, you know, I wore the vest in this marathon event in a video that people had nominated for us to watch. And I found the vest in my closet during that live event. And it turned into a crazy running meme that persists to this day. In fact, we're going to watch that today. That's actually one of the things that people nominated for us to watch back today, which is pretty neat. The origins of the vest and then the first stream where the vest streak started and stuff like that we're going to be watching together. Okay? So, good stuff all around here today. All right, guys? I would ask that you just kind of sit back and relax and chill today. That's what it's all about, chilling and having fun and reminiscing about the past. Now, you may ask yourself a couple things. First of all, how am I going to run the vest streak that we're talking about? As you know, for the past 3+ months, we've been running this thing called the vest streak. What this means is if I hit a tips goal for a stream, I put on a vest in celebration and the vest streak continues. And the streak is up to 160 straight streams where we've hit the vest streak. Holy shit, right? That's amazing. That's super positive. That's fun. But I haven't done a marathon during the running vest streak. It's been all regular kind of streams. And so you may say to yourself, well, how is this going to work? Because normally you'd have 2 streams a day. That would be 2 opportunities to hit the streak, 2 vest streak increases a day or whatever, right? Well, here's how we're going to do it. We talked about this back on Monday, and we figured it out. It's the best of both worlds, all right? It's good for everyone. Today, on this stream, I'm going to have a $100 tips goal. If we hit that $100 tips goal, the vest streak will increase by 1, and I will put on a vest, and that's that. We're good. Now, if people find themselves generous enough to tip more than that, and if we double the tips goal today, let's say we hit 200, then you get a tier 2 reward, which would be like I could put on the gunner glasses or switch vests or whatever you guys want, something silly like that. And the vest streak will increase by 2. So instead of going to 161, it'll actually go to 162. Even though technically it's the same stream, I'm going to treat it as if it's like 2 separate streams. I don't want the vest streak to slow down because I did a marathon stream today instead of 2 smaller streams, you know. And this way, there's only pressure to reach a $100 tips goal for the vest streak to continue. I felt this would be fair, and a lot of people are like, you know, if I had broken it up or whatever, basically this is the best way to do it, okay? And in reality, it takes a little bit of pressure off because typically in one day I'm looking to raise $200 in tips in order to continue the streak. And today I'll only be looking to do 100. All right? And that's okay. I'm not here, like I said, I'm not all about the money. I'm here to have fun. I'm so grateful you guys have been so supportive of me and my content over the last 3+ months. So much positivity around this stuff. Seriously, thank you for that. I mean it. And let's keep it going, of course. But why am I going to be some kind of a greedy jerk and be like, oh, we need to raise $200 during one stream? Forget it. We're going to do it as if it's one stream. And if we double it, great. That's amazing. I'll count it as 2, and that way the next vest celebration will happen more quickly. Okay? Fair enough? All right. So thank you guys. I'll be probably mentioning that a few more times during the stream so people understand how it's working. Okay? So today, we're walking down memory lane. We're watching fun stuff together from my past. It's going to be a great stream. It's going to be a chill stream. No pressure. Don't have to make any progress in any games, which is great. It's going to be a good one. All right? Like I said, the stream will be running all the way through till probably around 7 p.m. or a little bit later. And at that point, I'm finally going to end the stream so I can go eat dinner. Since it's be my I actually did have a little bit of a breakfast today. I had 2 granola bars and a cup of coffee. That was my breakfast because I was like, I need some sustenance in my body if I'm going to be doing an extended stream. So there you go, guys. Pretty good stuff. All right. Now, the schedule for the rest of the week is kind of up in the air. Allow me to explain. My current 2 major playthroughs are The Last of Us Part 2 and SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. 2 games that I'm really enjoying playing. despite the fact that one of them I don't really like the story. It's been great. You guys have been really good on these streams, attendance, you know, everyone hanging out, having a good time. I'm looking forward to more of them. But I don't know when I'm going to beat them. All right? I don't know when these games are going to conclude. And because of that, I can't really give you an exact idea of what to expect every day this coming weekend. What I can tell you is at least give you an idea what you can expect for the next 2 to 3 days. All right? Tomorrow, Thursday, the main stream will be The Last of Us Part 2. There's no way I'm beating that tomorrow. All right? The game apparently has another... some like 7 to 9 hours of gameplay or something crazy like that. So more Last of Us 2 tomorrow. Okay? Tomorrow night, I'm going to belch loudly like this. Excuse me. But then I'm going to play Fire Emblem Three Houses on the late stream tomorrow. 2 hours of Fire Emblem tomorrow night. I hope you'll join me for that. Friday, the probable conclusion of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I don't know 100% if I'll beat it. I have 3 entire worlds to get through, plus the final stage, and I do want to backtrack a little bit to try to find the collectible items I didn't get so far, see if I can 100% the game. Seems like it's doable. So I may beat it on Friday, I might not. Okay? Friday night, it's my weekly throwback session of old school Street Fighter. I hope you'll join me for that Friday night. 2 hours of old school Street Fighter throwback fun. Saturday, likely the conclusion of The Last of Us 2, but I'm not sure. It depends on how far we get tomorrow and how much is realistically left in the game, which I don't know. I can't say because I didn't beat the game yet. I don't know what's left in the game for me to complete. What I can say is, you know, it's interesting to be playing another character, for sure. But, you know, will I beat it on Saturday? Maybe I will. All right, maybe I will beat the game on Saturday. I'm not sure. If I do, I've already made you guys a promise. I promised all of you I would review the game. And I am going to stick to that promise. I am going to review The Last of Us Part 2 once I complete it. All right? So when that happens, if it happens on Saturday, yes, I'll be doing a live review on stream that very same day. Okay? We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Saturday night, it is the conclusion of Pokemon Swords The Isle of Armor DLC. This is a DLC that I've been playing now over a week. And at this point, there's only really a bit left that I need to play and complete. Basically, I've got to do the final, I want to say around 15 Pokemon. Some of them are evolutions by trading. Some of them are breeding to get the lower evolutions. And I think there may be 1 or 2 I still need to catch. I'm not 100% on that. So, we'll see. But that might wrap up on Saturday night. Now, you see what I'm saying about Sunday and Monday? They're up in the air because I don't even know if I'm going to beat these games like I'm planning. Like, let's say I did beat both The Last of Us 2 and SpongeBob. Then that would free stuff up. Maybe what I would do is, like, one of those days, all right, I would do, like, a full stream of Fire Emblem to get a little bit more advancement in the game. So that way, you know, I'm getting a little bit more of a head start before we head into even more stuff, more new stuff coming up this week. Or maybe I could do something different. I don't know. All right, I really don't know what I want to do. This coming week is going to be interesting because this week is Ask the King. Not right now, but next week I should have said is Ask the King, which is my Q&A show. And I love doing that show, and it kind of keeps getting bumped and moved around, shuffled around because of other things like releases and stuff. So that's definitely going to be a major stream that I'm going to do next week, including next week as well. I'm actually going to be doing a new game. It's on the 10th of July. It's Deadly Premonition 2. All right, I'm excited for that as well. But that being said, I'm kind of thinking I want to do a shorter playthrough of something. All right, what do I want to do a shorter playthrough of? I'm not sure at all. All right, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm kind of debating in my head what is it that I actually want to do. Some people have had different ideas for like shorter games. One of the ones I was throwing around that's a shorter game is Max Payne 2, which apparently I could probably beat in like maybe 3 streams. But there have been other ideas too. So I'm not sure what I want to do. Basically, whatever I do cannot be long, because there's going to be a bunch of new releases coming out shortly. Okay. But I need your opinion, guys. What would you guys like to see me to do Um, what would you like to see me to do? Maybe Sunday, Monday, and then maybe like Wednesday of this coming week, to balance off with everything else, and of course to balance with Deadly Premonition 2 that 1 week that it's out. What would you like to see me kind of balance with that until the more new releases come out? By the way, it's the 17th. On the 17th, there is 2 new releases, Ghost of Tsushima, as well as Paper Mario and the Origami King. So those will be the major releases for that week. All right, the week after that, it's Destroy All Humans Remake comes out. So it looks like for the second half of the month, we're going to be good. We'll have stuff to do. But up until then, we got a little bit of free time. All right? And so I'm kind of opening it up to you. You guys are throwing out all kinds of suggestions. Streets of Rage 4, at this point, I don't know if it's a good suggestion. The game's only like 4 hours long. That would only be enough for one stream. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Control DLC. Some people are saying do the Control DLC. As much as that actually interests me, every time I mentioned playing it this year, no one really cared at all. It seems to be something that people didn't really like the game last year, even though I liked the story, most people didn't. And there seems to be like a push against me ever going back to the game, even though I own the Season Pass DLC. I don't know if I'm going to go back and do it. It's a possibility, but no one's really asking for it, right? Let's see. But anyway, I'm looking for something short, something that maybe 2-3 streams, maybe 4 tops, I can beat, and I could balance it. I could maybe, like I said, let's say I play it Sunday or Monday of this week, and then I could play it again on Wednesday, and then I could balance that with Deadly Premonition 2 for like a week. You see what I mean? Now, in addition to that, okay, chill streams may come back sooner rather than later. They may come back this weekend, because if I do wrap up both The Last of Us 2 and Pokemon, all right, that's going to free up my late night streams for more variety of content. And I'll let you know, basically what we need to do is play it by ear and see how things go up until Saturday. And then by Saturday, I should be able to make my determination what exactly is going to happen Sunday and Monday and all of that. Okay? So I kind of apologize that I don't really have a set schedule for this full weekend. I wish I did. It's just that things are really weird right now with game releases, and we'll see what happens together over the weekend. We'll talk about this, I'm sure, over the next couple of days more to figure out what exactly would be the best course of action coming up, and we'll go from there. All right? But rest assured, there's going to be tons of streaming. There's going to be lots of fun on streams, no matter what I play. I hope you guys are excited. Okay? Fair enough? All right. All right, that's the schedule. Now, another thing I want to draw your attention to. If you guys look at the top of the stream, you will notice we have a subscriber goal back for the month of July. That's right, folks. For the month of July, subscriber goal is back. The subscriber goal is currently set to 725 subscriptions. We are currently at 667 subscriptions. So in reality, it's not unreachable at all. Actually, considering the fact that just a couple days ago, we were over 730 subscriptions. It's just that a lot of them expired. Okay? So, if we hit 725 subscriptions at any time in the month of July, it's time for another Viewer's Choice special event. All right? What is the Viewer's Choice special event? I'll tell you what it is. It's an opportunity where all of you guys get to nominate and then vote on games that will become a full game playthrough right here on the stream. In the last few months, I've done many of these, and they've pretty much all been pretty successful playthroughs, including a 100% run of Donkey Kong 64, as well as a 100% run of Banjo-Tooie. I also am playing Fire Emblem Three Houses and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. All of those games were Viewer's Choice event games that you guys nominated and voted for, okay? So, as you can see, the Viewer's Choice can create quite a lot of interesting stuff when it comes to gameplay. And I'm excited for this. I want to see what the next game will be that you guys nominate. It usually turns out to something pretty fun. So, that being said, guys, hold on a second. I knew it. My chair, oh my god. My chair is all screwed up. Yet another reason why I don't like doing stuff at the PC. This gamer chair that I have is a piece of broken garbage, and the hydraulic thing in it, the thing that raises the elevation of the seat, doesn't even work right. But anyway, thank God I didn't pay for it. But anyway, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with for another Viewer's Choice event. And in particular, this one will be good because this will serve as a transitioning filler between the dead time of the summer and the hardcore gaming season of the fall. As you guys know, usually there's a lot of games that come out in the fall. We're not 100% that's going to happen this year because of the coronavirus. But usually August is pretty slow, and this year seems exactly on par for that. It doesn't look like there's a ton of game releases for August. So August will be a great opportunity for me to start up a Viewer's Choice gameplay event, okay? So I hope you guys will consider subscribing to the channel this month. Like I said, if we hit 725 subs, the Viewer's Choice event is a go, and you guys will be able to start nominating games. Now, some people have said, well, what about a Tier 2 goal? Yeah, we will definitely do a Tier 2 goal. If we happen to hit the Tier 1 subscriber goal for the month, then I'll set up a Tier 2 goal. If we hit that, we'll do 2 Viewer's Choice games, just like I did last time around. It'll end up being the top 2 games that are nominated and voted on that become full Viewer's Choice playthroughs. All right? So that's what we're doing for this month. I hope that sounds good to all of you. July is going to be a great month. We got so many great games and things coming out this month. It's going to be outstanding. I'm really excited for it. Okay? Now, let's move on. Okay, guys? Let's move on. Hold on a second. Let's talk about current events because there's a ridiculous amount of stuff that happened. Oh my God, you fucking piece of shit. What the fuck? Sorry, I got a bunch of letters and stuff here that are important on my desk and they keep falling. All right, put them up there. So, a lot of stuff to talk about today now that I'm back from break. First thing is completely ungaming related, and I'd like to get it out of the way. People keep asking me about this because I live in a suburb of Seattle. And they keep asking me, Phil, did you hear about Chaz? Did you hear about Chop? Did you hear about this segment of downtown Seattle where almost ludicrously people who claim to be protesters are occupying like a 6-block radius? The police have evacuated and are allowing them to just live there without law, without any kind of stuff going on. All right? It's been a humongous fucking mess. All right? Started off supposedly non-violently, nice protests and everything there. Within 3 weeks that this place existed, there were more than 4 shootings and 2 teenagers died. All right? So I just want to throw this out there. A little experiment of, gee, let's see what happens when the police say, fuck it, you guys want to be here and say the police are so evil, we want nothing to do with you, and they abandon an area. Let's see how long they can survive. Apparently not long. It lasted 3 weeks. Never should have existed at all, in my opinion. Never should have been allowed. Because there's people who live there, there's businesses who were there who needed to be protected, and they didn't do anything wrong. The whole thing's a whole political mess, and I'm not going to sit here on a soapbox and stand there and say, this person did this wrong, this person did this wrong. In my opinion, it's a failure of everyone. You know? I want to do something non-violent and prove that the protests can work and that we don't need police, and then within 3 weeks, people are dying. It's like, well, you just proved your experiment doesn't work. You know? If anywhere this was going to work, it would have been Seattle, the most leftist area of the country. Didn't work. People shot each other. All right? So it's pretty sad that this happened. All right? And by the way, I'm not downplaying over violent actions of the police. You know, this whole thing, the Black Lives Matter movement, has been super important, in my opinion. But when you push the agenda too far, this is what happens. You know, Black Lives Matter, you're absolutely right. The police should be held accountable. Black people in the United States should not have to walk around in fear that at any moment they could get the shit beat out of them and killed by law enforcement just because they're black. But that doesn't mean that we abandon all law and order and just let people do whatever the hell they want, because it doesn't work and people kill each other. Right? So it's like, you know, insane. So a couple things have happened. First of all of the people as well as the businesses who live in that 6-block radius are suing the city of Seattle, saying this should have never happened. It's your job. You know, we pay taxes so that you enforce the law. You didn't do that. And now all of our businesses are completely destroyed. We can't even live in this area. We abandoned it to these people. So we're suing the fuck out of you for not doing your job. Okay? Fair enough. They're actually correct. If you legally look at the standing, they're actually 100% correct in doing this. I don't know if they're going to win. But that's kind of interesting to me. The other thing is, as of this morning, the zone is no more. Because after 2 teenagers died and more than, I think it was 4 people were shot during this 3 weeks that this happened, this existed, finally, I believe the mayor of Seattle realized that she was going to be under so much legal liability at this point that she ordered that it gets shut down. So the police came in and kicked everyone out. Bulldozers came in, bulldozed the fuck out of it, and now they're cleaning it up. So, that should have happened day one, in my opinion, because it's unlawfulness, it's unruliness. It wasn't a protest ever. It wasn't ever organized to be a protest. It was supposed to be anarchy. And they allowed it to happen for 3 weeks, so now we're going to see what happens with these people suing over it, very rightly so. It's unfortunate we had that people die because of it. If anything, this just proves it's about moderation. It's not about, in life, it's not about an extreme one way or extreme the other. Our government should not have total control over our lives and be able to completely beat the shit out of us as law enforcement and demand that we do things, that don't make any sense, or, you know what I mean? At the same time, we shouldn't have complete lawlessness. We have to have a middle ground where everyone kind of agrees that, yes, law enforcement is good to some extent. We have to make sure that they're held accountable for their actions. We have to make sure that the government does the right thing and is held accountable for its actions. But we can't just abolish everything and expect that everything's going to be hunky-dory. We can't operate life on an honor system. It doesn't work. Okay? That's why we have law. If we didn't need law and order, we wouldn't need law enforcement if people all did the right thing. If anything, time and time again over human history, we find out people are not to be trusted to do the right thing. Either they're not smart enough, or they're just too greedy. It's one or the other. Now, that's my political soapbox, all right? I'm getting off of it now. But I'm just saying the whole thing's over, the experiment's over, and you guys can stop asking me about it every day because I don't care about it anymore. It doesn't even exist, all right? Fair enough. Now, let's talk about actual gaming news, all right? Good stuff. Fun stuff, positive stuff. First of all, a follow-up to the big story from the last week, the Dr. Disrespect banning from Twitch. The big thing, the last time I talked about this, on Monday, the big thing was that on Monday, according to conspiracy theorists, we were supposed to get a big reveal of a new streaming service to compete with Twitch, and this was the streaming service that Dr. Disrespect was in talks with, and that's why he was banned from Twitch, and blah, blah, blah. Nothing happened. 100% nothing happened. Nothing was announced. No more information on Dr. Disrespect. The whole thing was bullshit. The controversy, or excuse me, the conspiracy theorists were all wrong, as usual. Listen, I got a little bit of experience with conspiracy theorists. I'm not sure if you're aware of my dealings with people on the internet who completely make shit up because they like to believe insanely crazy drama with their tinfoil fucking hats that they wear. But yeah, nothing happened at all. Therefore, it's a dead issue, okay? Until something concrete happens in this situation. For example, if Dr. Disrespect comes out and says, I heard more information, here's what happened. Or Twitch comes out and says, here's what happened. Or a lawsuit hits, which I'm feeling that's what's going to happen. I strongly believe Dr. Disrespect is going to be sued. That's why there's been no formal announcement of anything. They're drafting up actual legal notice of something. That's my take on it, okay? I could be wrong, but that's my take. Until there's more info, I'm not talking about it anymore. There's no point. Why am I going to beat the dead horse every day when there's nothing there to talk about, okay? So that's a dead issue for me. Until we get more info, we're not going to bother talking about it, all right? But outside of that, there's 4 big issues, 4 big things going on. Not really issues. 4 big things going on with gaming. First of all, let's talk about Nintendo. Let's talk about the company that's synonymous with creative gaming and a company that basically people always hold in super duper high regard, right? Over the years, Nintendo could do no wrong. You know what I mean? Like, their fans are some of the most rabid and dedicated fans on the planet, and they will buy anything Nintendo puts out there. They will support anything Nintendo puts out there. But one of the major things that's been a huge issue of contention with Nintendo over the past few years is the Nintendo Switch console's Joy-Cons and the very well-documented Joy-Con drift issue that's been a problem with these controllers. If you guys don't know because you don't have a Switch, well, basically consider yourselves lucky because those Joy-Con controllers that come with the Switch suck ass. They have many issues, and one of the major issues with them is a Joy-Con drift issue where the little thumbsticks continue to just move in a direction despite the fact you're not touching the thumbstick in that direction. This has been a known issue since the launch of the Switch that Nintendo has never addressed nor done anything to fix. Most people who play their Switches full-time end up running out and buying third-party controller attachments, another standalone controller. Anyone who takes the gaming seriously on the Switch says, man, these Joy-Cons suck ass, I need to go buy something else. Now, like I said, most people sweep Nintendo issues under the rug. They just give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. They fanboy out and say, whatever, Nintendo can do no wrong. And I've always said that's the wrong approach to have. That if you keep giving a company a pass, they will never, ever have any reason to improve. Why improve a product? Why improve the way you make a game? Why improve your mentality as a gameplay development company if people just like everything you do no matter what blindly, right? And that's why I've absolutely never agreed with people who are blind fanboys of any console or any company. I think that it's counterproductive to them being creative and improving things over time. Sadly, Nintendo is one of those companies that just kind of thinks their shit doesn't stink. And when things go wrong, they go wrong. You know, in this case, this is the first time I feel in quite a long time that Nintendo is actually being called out for their bullshit. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Nintendo is being sued in a major class action lawsuit in the United States. People got together and said, this is scientifically documented that the Joy-Cons are garbage. They all have this Joy-Con drift issue. If you don't have the Joy-Con drift issue, you're basically lucky, okay? You lucked out and got one of the minority functioning Joy-Cons. Nintendo has refused to do anything to fix the issue. It would have been one thing if Nintendo said, okay, we admit there's an issue. Let's issue a recall on the Joy-Cons and we'll do a free repair job for all of you or whatever, right? But they refuse to do that. They absolutely refuse to do that. You know, and because of that, very sadly, nothing ever improved. So people sued them, okay, and said, no, this is bullshit. Everyone who's buying the Switch ends up having this issue at one point or another, and we're not happy with that. We want Nintendo to fix it. So they did a class action lawsuit, and they're now suing Nintendo in the United States for that. Okay? So, Nintendo came out with a statement yesterday. This, now, just so you guys understand, the reason this is a story is because Nintendo never does what they did yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday Nintendo publicly apologized, acknowledged fault, and said that they're going to do better. Holy shit. It's like Nintendo grew up. Nintendo finally realized they're not infallible and realized that sometimes it's okay to admit fault and to improve for the better. Personally, myself, I can relate. Because when I started on YouTube 10, 11 years ago, I thought my shit didn't stink. I thought I was Mr. Popular. I was doing everything right. How dare anyone ever tell me I'm doing something wrong? And if you criticize me, I'm going to publicly shame you on the internet for it and laugh at you and deride you. Fast forward many years later, I have definitely learned. I've learned that criticism is good. It can make you improve. It can make you a better person. It can make you a better content creator. And at this point, I'm the complete polar opposite of how I used to be. When people say I did something wrong, usually I take the benefit of the doubt and I just believe them. Because at this point, you know, I made so many mistakes on the internet, how can you even dispute it, right? But Nintendo has never changed until now. Holy crap. So Nintendo came out with a statement yesterday basically saying that they apologize for issues with the Joy-Cons. So they're acknowledging there's an issue. Like, they literally acknowledged publicly there is an issue with the Joy-Cons. But then they said, we can't comment any further because we're being sued. That's correct. If you're in the midst of any kind of a lawsuit like that, it really behooves you to not say anything. It's in your best interest to keep your mouth shut, because anything you say in a situation like that could basically become even more, or even worse for you. Like, if Nintendo said something and then they could say, oh, in court, well, you know, Nintendo said this publicly, they're admitting even further fault, we should get even more damages now. It could literally be part of that, all right? So, that being said, yeah, Nintendo finally admitting fault for something. And since they admitted fault, it must mean that during they're being sued, these proceedings, they've gotten to the point where Nintendo publicly admitted in the proceedings that they did something wrong with these Joy-Cons and they should have done something better. And it seems to me like that means the class action lawsuit is actually going to go in. Okay? That's interesting to me. I guess we'll see what happens. But hopefully they improve the Joy-Cons. Okay? I do. I hope that they make a Model 2 where they're much better, and anyone who bought Joy-Cons gets some kind of compensation. They deserve it, because everyone probably kind of got ripped off. Okay? So that's that with Nintendo. We have a couple updates. Hold on a second here, because I want to make sure that I'm actually not missing anything here. All right, let's do a couple kind of positive updates, and then let's do the biggest negative story for the day. Okay? One positive update is that Xbox has announced their big event. Their big event is going to go down on July 23rd, which is a Thursday, a random Thursday. Okay, actually, Sony did an event on Thursday too, now that I'm thinking about it. So on July 23rd, Microsoft is going to do exactly the same thing that Sony did with the PlayStation 5 reveal. They're going to do their own live press conference revealing not only more information about the Xbox Series X consoles, but also the games lineup, which is what the PS5 event was supposed to be. But after the event ended, we found out most of those games were cross-platform anyway. Okay? So, I'm going to be covering this in exactly the same fashion that I covered Sony's event. We'll be speculating before the event starts live on stream. Then we'll watch the event live together. And then after the event ends, we'll do a recap and reaction stream. Much like it being an E3 special event. Okay? Now, I don't know the times yet. They have not announced the times yet. Alright? It's going to be hopefully similar to Sony's. If it is, that'd actually be perfect for me, because I could do my stream at the normal time. But I guess we're going to see what happens together and go from there. Alright? So that's coming up July 23rd. I'm very excited for that. I hope you're excited for that. I'm also aware Ubisoft has an event coming up. I don't give a shit. Typically, EA and Ubisoft put out the worst conferences of all of E3. And EA's event was such a laughable joke. I'm super glad I skipped it. I'll also be skipping Ubisoft's event. But what I will do is try to take any information out of that event and talk about it on my streams. Alright? I'm not going to waste time doing Ubisoft's garbage. I'm just not. Okay? So, that's that, and that's a good positive update. Alright? Now we've got an update in regards to Crysis. Now this is funny because yesterday when I was off, information leaked on the internet that the Crysis remake that we heard was happening, that the original game Crysis 1, the game that used to be the benchmark for graphical performance on personal computers and PC gaming, was getting a modern remake with better graphics on modern consoles as well as PC. And it was leaked that supposedly today was supposed to be the big reveal. They were going to put information and visuals of the game up on the internet finally and start advertising it. And supposedly it was supposed to come out near the end of July. I believe it was like, I want to say like July 24th or something like that. Well, this morning, the makers of Crysis came out and said, we're not ready. We've decided we're not ready. The game isn't polished enough yet. And they said, basically, we're going to wait a few weeks. So give us like 3 weeks, and then we'll come back and reassess. And if we're ready at that point, what we're going to do is we're going to do our big reveal like we were going to do today. All right? And then we're going to then give us a new release date. So if everything here ends up really getting delayed 3 weeks or whatever, then that would mean that the reveal would be around the same time as the Xbox event, and then the game will probably come out sometime in August. I'm excited for this because, number one, I didn't play the original Crysis. This was a game that was very huge at the time, and I didn't have a PC that was capable of PC gaming at the time to try out Crysis. By the time that I started being a YouTuber, Crysis 2 came out, and that was actually an earlier playthrough that I did for YouTube. Okay? But I played it on console, and man, you know, the console graphics were good, but I'm sure they were nowhere up to snuff for what was on PC. Okay? Now, that being said, I'm sure now running on PS4 Pro and stuff like that, it would be much better. So I'm excited for this, and I feel this is something great for the summer. If this actually does come out in August, that's actually better than if it came out in July. Because if it came out in July, there's already too many new releases, and it might have gotten missed or swept under the rug. Now it seems like we're going to have ample time. If it comes out in August, that's perfect. I would love to play Crysis in August. So, we shall see. Alright, I hope it does come out in August. I will play it, if that is the case, and I hope you guys will join me for that. Okay? Fair enough. For those in the stream chat spamming bullshit about Wings of Redemption, stop now. Because if you keep it up, I'm just going to time you all out. This is not a Wings of Redemption stream. This is my stream, and if you don't like that, you can go watch Wings. Alright? I don't want to see this stupid shit constantly in my stream. I have nothing against the guy. I don't want people constantly making fun of him and talking about him in my stream. Alright? Throwing down the law. Alright? Alright. Fair enough? Let's continue. We got 2 other stories to talk about today. Actually, maybe we only have 1 other story. Hold on. We have 1 other story, and this story, sadly, is not a good one. This story, folks, is a major follow-up to one of the things I've been talking about for about a week and a half to 2 weeks, ever since the release of The Last of Us 2. In fact, I've been talking about this one since before the release of The Last of Us 2. About a week before The Last of Us Part 2 released, all of the major journalists out there released their early game reviews, alright? 1 week ahead of the actual official release of the game, these companies came out and said, here's our review of the game, okay? And almost everyone kissed the game's ass. Almost everyone said the game's a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, a 9.5 out of 10. It was exorbitantly positive, these reviews that came out from gaming journalists a week before the game officially actually released on the internet. But here's the thing. The journalists were not allowed to talk about the second half of the game at all. They were not allowed to talk about plot twists. They were not allowed to talk about the plot mostly at all. Essentially, when you read these early reviews, you got about maybe a third of the game reviewed in these reviews. So it didn't make sense because you didn't get it in context of the actual game. But these journalists actually agreed to these ridiculous constraints because of early review embargo restrictions by Naughty Dog and Sony. What that means is because these guys received early copies of the game for free, they were not able to talk about the entirety of the game in their game reviews. Okay? Now, for those who don't know, a little bit of history when it comes to reviews. Reviews are supposed to be impartial. Reviews are supposed to be fair, balanced criticisms of whatever it is that you are reviewing. And that goes for any medium. It could be written word. It could be spoken word. It could be music. It could be television and movies. It could be video games. It could be any work of art whatsoever. When you're critiquing it, you're supposed to be fair and balanced, not biased. Because any kind of a biased opinion on something is not fair journalism, and it's not a fair critique or review. It's advertisement. Okay? Now, it doesn't actually matter if the person who puts out a positive review that's skewed towards the positive is actually monetarily compensated for what they've done. As long as they receive something for free and they then skew their review towards the positive because of it, that is a paid advertisement. Alright? And you may say, well, doesn't every industry operate like this? Yes. Every industry has these elitist people, these special people who get early copies early of everything. It could be movies or music or whatever, and they review them. It doesn't mean that it's right. Just because this is a common practice doesn't mean that it's right. Because when you get something early for free, you have an innate bias. You have an installed bias to positively review that thing. Number one, you didn't have to wait like everyone else to get it. You got it early. So you're part of this influx of, an elitist crew, a hype crowd that got it early. Immediately you're going to feel better about whatever it is you're playing. Number two, you didn't pay any money for it. You have no financial investment in that whatsoever. Therefore, if that game sucks, who gives two shits because you didn't pay for it? Again, that's going to create an innate bias. Alright? This is why I am strongly against early release copies in the modern era. There was a time in the 1990s when these game journalists needed to get copies early because they all wrote in print magazines, etc. That means they needed to get the copies early, play through the entire game, write a written review, have it published for a physical piece of paper, and have that shipped to stores ahead of the release of the game. We're in 2020 now. There is no purpose, and just think about it this way. You have to think about it this way. Why do game companies actually clamor to get early review copies out there? I'll tell you why. It's because it's free advertisement. Not because it's free criticism, because it's free advertisement. These game developers, these publishers understand that when they give something to someone early, they are giving a reason for that person to say it's good, even if it's not. Because let's face it, out of the hundreds of people who received an early release copy of The Last of Us 2, about 97% of them reviewed the game overwhelmingly positively. And because of that, Sony is probably going to put them on their green light list. What does that mean? It means that those will be people that when Sony has another major project to promote in the future, will more than likely continue to get advanced release copies, which means they can continue to put out overly positive reviews. It creates a vicious circle of free advertisement. Okay? It's not good. It's completely dishonest. It is ridiculously harmful. Because then you end up getting people who think a game is so good they run out and buy it, and then they get it and they don't like it. Which is exactly what happened with The Last of Us 2. Ridiculous amounts of people ran out and bought the game because of this overly hype review system that said the game was 10 out of 10, and within a day of the game actually being on the internet, being played, people slammed the fuck out of it with negative reviews saying the story is one of the worst written stories they've ever seen ever. And this game did not deserve any of its praise. Not to say the game was the worst game ever, and not to say the game's a piece of donkey shit, but that the game is not the best game ever. The game does not deserve a 10 out of 10. It has tons of flaws, and a lot of people don't like this game because the story is not in line with what they were expecting from The Last of Us Part 2. Okay? That is a fair criticism. Someone has a right to not like The Last of Us 2, but Sony doesn't think so. Because here's the true news story for today, folks. Polygon wrote an article yesterday speaking about another gaming news source, Vice. Now, I guess Vice is an independent journalism website, and apparently Vice usually is very leftist. And what I mean by that is they're very supportive of LGBT plus rights and representation. Okay? So, Vice received an early copy of The Last of Us Part 2 and reviewed it fairly. And actually critiqued it fairly. They didn't give it a number score, by the way. But what they did is they reviewed it and basically said they didn't like the game because of the writing. They thought that the story of the game was shit. But they did like other elements of the game. It was actually, from what I'm to understand, it's a pretty fair and balanced review. Okay? So they reviewed this game, The Last of Us 2. They're one of the few outlets who gave it a negative review. Most other outlets just overwhelmingly, shiningly positive. Vice is one of the few. Alright. And what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Sony, not publicly, behind the scenes, Sony contacted Vice and said, hey guys, what gives? Your review is like really negative, and it's not in line with everyone else, so we want to talk with you about that. Okay? I just want you to think about this for a second before we even continue on with how wrong this situation is. Alright? You're given an advanced review copy of a game and told to review it. You do, and then the people who made it go to you and say, we feel your review is wrong. How dare you say negative things about our game? What? Huh? Now just think about how that must make you feel. You asked me for honesty. I gave you honesty. And you told me my honesty wasn't good. So then you didn't want honesty. Just the very fact that Sony contacted Vice about their review proves that Sony was not actually giving review copies. They were giving advertisement copies. Because the fact that they were so taken aback that someone would say something negative about the game proves they didn't want to hear any negativity. They only wanted positivity. Okay? So, This is 100% evidence that this whole system is corrupt and broken. So Polygon reported on this yesterday. Other internet content creators reported on the Polygon article yesterday. And this caused a big domino effect across the internet. People started commenting on the story saying, this actually happens all the time. This is the first time we've actually seen it publicly discussed, because it seems to us that these people who get early advanced review copies are so nervous that if they say or do anything in regards to this process, they will no longer ever get early review copies. Okay? So apparently it's a common practice for major companies who make games to then follow up and criticize the reviewers if they give them a negative review. Like, how dare you? Why are you saying negative things about our game? You better clarify your position because we feel this is unfair or whatever. Huh? Then that's not even, or again, that's not review. That's extortion, essentially. Because you're saying, we'll give you something, but we will no longer, I take it back, not extortion. There's a word for coercion. It's coercion. You're trying to coerce people into doing things that they don't want to do so that they can have future positive benefit, or else face blacklisting from them, because that's all this is. Sony is basically bullying people who reviewed the game negatively and saying, well, we really don't like the fact that you did that. We want to make that known. By the way, you may never get a copy from us again. Did they say that? No. But the fact they even wrote Vice, that's what that was a statement of. Just like them sending that early copy to this elitist group of journalists is a statement of free advertisement, give us positivity. They don't have to say it. It's implied, you see? And the fact that now it's coming out that all these major game developers actually do this kind of stuff all the time behind the scenes proves that the early release copy model doesn't work. We need to stop accepting this. People who get early release copies, we shouldn't even care about their reviews. If a review comes out before a game's out, don't fucking read it. There's no point. That's a paid advertisement. If a streamer gets a game early and is playing it a week early before the game comes out, don't watch their stream. Don't support that content. That's a paid advertisement. That's not a fair gameplay stream. That's not a criticism. That is an advertisement. A lot of people can't even criticize the games they're playing early. All right? 2 years ago, I strongly criticized people who got a copy of State of Decay 2 early because they publicly said we're not allowed to criticize the game when we play it because of a review embargo. Then don't play the game. Stop being a fucking paid shill and be someone who actually wants to put out meaningful content for your viewers. Stop taking paychecks and actually do the right thing instead of being a scumbag and basically completely giving free advertisement to these companies, right? It's fucked up. This whole system is fucked up. All right? So this has always been a way to get around the whole system where you admit that something's a paid advertisement. Because in reality, let's say Naughty Dog or Sony actually said to someone, I'm going to pay you money to stream my game. The streamer has to actually explicitly disclose that. But if Sony or Naughty Dog says, I'm just going to give you a copy of the game for free and there's a review embargo, they don't have to disclose that it's a paid advertisement, even though in effect it is. You see? This is a way they found a way around the system. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. People need to open their eyes. All right? Chances are, those of you who watch my content, your eyes are probably open because I talk about this all the time. But this needs to become mainstream knowledge. It does. This needs to become mainstream knowledge among the gaming community that this practice is underhanded and evil, immoral, fucked up, and people need to stop this shit. People need to stop giving attention to early reviewers and early streamers because it's just irresponsible, immoral, and it's only done to promote and give free advertisement. It's not legit content at all. It's just not. All right? That's my opinion on it. You have every right to dispute my opinion. You have every right to disagree with me. If you have concrete evidence refuting anything that I've just said, by all means present it to me. But in the 12 years I've been a content creator, this has been an underhanded practice that I've been seeing over and over and over and over, and I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of it. As a content creator myself, I hate that by the time that I play a game, there's full playthroughs of it out on the internet and full kiss-ass reviews before anyone's had a chance to actually touch the game for themselves and see what it really is. That's horseshit, and it needs to fucking end. We need to have people who actually buy games because they're good, not because someone said they're good a week early because it was a shill kind of a deal, okay? That's my take on it. All right? So I don't know if we'll have any more follow-ups to this story at all. This might be the end of it because it seems like every single time that there's been a criticism of The Last of Us Part 2, Sony and Naughty Dog sweep it under the rug. Oh, that's because people don't like lesbians. That's because LGBT plus scares people and they can't handle that that's a major part of your game. No, people don't like the story of your game because Neil Druckmann wrote it horribly. The game is disjointed. The game is a fucking clusterfuck mess. The game has a completely different tone and vibe of the first game. You kill off major characters from the first game who everyone loves and cares about within the first few hours. There's a million reasons to legitimately criticize your game. It has nothing to do with LGBT plus. You're just a fucking piece of shit for trying to create a straw man argument and trying to pretend that you're above criticism because you put liberal issues in your game. Fuck off. Okay then. That's now, by the way, like I said, when I beat The Last of Us Part 2, likely this coming weekend, I am going to give it a fair review. I am not going to be all negative. There's a lot of positives about this game that I'm really enjoying. That's why I'm continuing to play the game. But I'm not going to pull back punches and hold back my opinions. I'm going to tell you guys what I truly feel when I review that game this weekend. I hope you guys know that and you understand that and you're ready for that. All right? All right. Cool. Those are my stories for today. I told you pre-stream was going to be crazy today because we had so much to talk about. Why so much happens in a short period of time when I'm not even here? It's crazy. All week we didn't have shit like that going on. And all of a sudden, boom. Like, holy shit. Okay, well, that was a lot to take in. But okay, I guess fair enough, right? All right. All right, guys. So, thank you for listening. It is now time for shoutouts. All right? Let's get to shoutouts. So first of all, some shoutouts for people who contributed when I was not even here. People who actually thought about me during my day off, which is very nice of you, so thank you for that. We've got Yidden, who subscribed for 3 months in a row and said, big fan, keep it up. Thank you, Yidden. We have Golden Colts, who did an 80-bit cheer and said, overnight cheer. And then we had Tantamounter, who did a 100-bit cheer. So thank you guys for your contributions when I was not even live. That is much appreciated. Okay? Excuse me. Had to burp. Alright. Continuing on, now let's get to people who actually contributed during today's stream so we can start updating the leaderboards. The Last Rambo did a 50-bit cheer to get the cheering started. He said, I really hope you would show my suggested video of Medal of Honor. It's been skipped twice in the last retrospective marathons. To my knowledge, now this is just me trying to remember back because I actually reviewed most of this stuff on Sunday night. I'm pretty sure I did put it in there. I don't remember what the video is, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the things on my list of stuff to go over today. All right. Fire7672 has subscribed for 14 months. Thank you, Fire, for the 14 months of support. That is much appreciated. X-Venom Symbiote has resubscribed for 24 months. That's 2 years of support. Thank you so much, X-Venom Symbiote, for 2 ongoing years. Golden Nobles got the tipping started today with a whopping $50 tip. Thank you very much, Golden Nobles. That is a tremendously awesome start to the tipping today. So let's go ahead and update that tips goal right away. We're halfway to the goal already. That is amazing. Thank you guys for that support. Oh, and he says, let's get the party started. Yes, thank you, Golden Nobles. I'm glad that you guys are feeling that way. Today's more of a relaxed atmosphere, you know? We're just going to chill. We're going to walk down memory lane, watch fun stuff from the past, have a good time together, chat it up. It's not about gameplay. It's not about any of that crap. It's about having fun. I'm ready for that. I hope you guys are ready for that, too. All right, continuing on. Thank you, Golden Nobles, so much. So generous. Only Iced Coffee gifted a sub to Shadow the Hedgehog. Congratulations, Shadow. Shadow's actually a pretty big supporter of the streams with Cheers recently. And Only Iced Coffee has been gifting a ridiculous amount of subs to the stream. So thank you, guys. Then Golden Nobles gifted a subscription to Elite Shadow Ninja. Congrats, Elite Shadow Ninja, on getting that gifted sub. Thank you, Golden Nobles, again for more support. Sundance McGee69 resubscribed for 6 months in a row. Thank you for half of a year of support there. I appreciate that very much, Sundance. Good to see ya. ATS318 has done a 50-bit cheer. He says, how's it going? I'm strapped in for a walk down memory lane. It's going good. I'm coming back from break feeling refreshed, feeling excited for today. It should be a great stream. Angelo Bestia tipped me $7.77. Basically says, You know, I have an illness, and it's thrown my life into a horrible place, and your streams make my days better. They make me feel like I'm spending time with a friend, so don't give up. I got your back. Well, thank you, Angelo Bestia. I wish you the best. I really do. And I want to say thank you for not only supporting the streams, but obviously for sharing your story, because in my opinion, that's more important than the support financially, because I like to know that what I do has meaning outside of just being some asshole on the internet playing games, because that's all I ever was doing, you know. And people tell me so all the time now, especially since last week when we did the festival, excuse me. A lot of people have written me private messages basically saying, thanks for what you do, because you may not realize it, but it actually has a lot of meaning for us outside of just gaming stuff. You know, it puts a smile on our face when things are going wrong in our lives. You know, your story and your ongoing perseverance motivates us to keep going. And, you know, people tell me, share their personal plights and stories with me, and it's heartbreaking, some of these things that I hear. But to know that anything that I have done in this life has positively affected some of you and made you feel better, or helped you, inspired you in any positive way, that means the world. That's why I keep doing it. All right, so thank you. And Angelo, I wish you the best, okay? All right, continuing on. ATS cheered again. He says, you got to go back to your favorite game ever, Rise Son of Rome. Ugh. Luckily, no one nominated that for today. Ninstar Rune just cheers. Isn't it hypocritical of Sony to censor or refuse to port Japanese games that have anime girls in bikinis or skimpy outfits, but they're more than happy to promote Last of Us 2, which features a hardcore naked sex scene? Is it because Abby looks like a man, so her flat chest can get past censors? Listen, I think there's a lot of things that are hypocritical about The Last of Us 2, right? I think we all agree about that. And, you know, I'm going to save my ultimate thoughts about some of these things in the game for my review. I'm not going to continually go off on every stream about it. But if your question is it hypocritical? Yes. Lunaba has gifted a sub to Alucard177. Thank you, Lunaba, for the ongoing support, and Alucard, congratulations. Rob has sent me $10. He says, main your Fire Emblem stream, please. Fuck those crybabies. Chances are, Rob, I am going to do Fire Emblem as a main stream, maybe once or twice in the next week. But the thing is, I need to balance it with something else. It can't just be Fire Emblem as the main stream, 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? That's why I'm looking for like a shorter game or something that we could do as filler for at least a week or two. So we'll see. But yeah, no, more than likely, Fire Emblem is going to end up being a mainstream a couple times, I think. We'll see. Thank you for the $10 tip. Lucifer Soul is resubscribed for 20 months. He says, become dumb because dumb fucks in LA, that's Los Angeles for those who don't know, Los Angeles, California in the United States, didn't wear masks and didn't socially distance. 7 counties in California now have a mandatory mask policy in public, or you could face a misdemeanor, not an infraction, but a misdemeanor. Go Gavin Newsom. Well, we already have that in Washington, and we have nowhere near the amount of cases as California. We have a few counties here where our numbers started to spike again, and the governor freaked out again and basically said everyone has to wear a mask or it's a misdemeanor, okay? Now, personally, I agree with the mask wearing edict. If it means that people will not get sick, if it means that people do not die, you know, and if it also means, let's be honest, that everything's a lot cleaner, I'm okay with it. I have been wearing a mask the whole thing, and I'm okay with it. I got a nice mask I bought on the internet. My wife has a nice mask she bought on the internet. We go out. Is it annoying to have to put the thing on and off? Of course it is. But guess what? It's important. People get to live because we wear the mask. So I'm okay to do it. All right, I'm okay to do it. And I would hope that somehow logic would prevail in this situation, but sadly it's not, and emotion is prevailing for a lot of people. They feel that this is violating their rights as an American citizen to have to wear a mask in public, and how dare you tell me what to do. And it's caused a lot of issues. It has caused quite a lot of issues. In the state of Washington, we just had this edict to wear a mask, which is hilarious to me, and here's why I say that. People who are smart enough to wear the mask will just wear it. They're not dumb. There are a lot of dumb people out there who don't want to wear one. There's nothing you can do about stupid people unless you're actually going to make a law that says this has to be enforced. All right? Guess what? There's no law to enforce it. And in fact, our law enforcement in Washington State have come out publicly and said, we have no intention of enforcing any edict from the governor because this guy thinks he can just do these things. We have better things to do. We have actual crimes to solve. We're not going to go around the city looking for people without masks and arresting them in the streets as a misdemeanor. This is ludicrous. You know, this is not what the police are meant to do. We are not the mask enforcement force. We are the law enforcement force. So unless the governor has the state legislature create a law stating that you must wear a mask in public, then we'll enforce it. But until then, we don't care. Okay? And I have to agree there, because how stupid is it, you know, that this governor thinks he's going to make an edict and people are just, again, it's the honor system. Oh, well, people will just know what the right thing to do. They're not. People are stupid. People are dumb as fuck. All right? They'll do whatever they want. They don't care about anyone else but themselves. That's what you did in the United States when you created an entire country based on capitalism and capitalistic policies. You made it no one cares about anyone else but themselves or their own families. So in some cases, they don't even care about their own families. They're so dumb, they infect their whole families. So you're not going to get people doing the right thing. You're just not. So these edicts are completely pointless. If people aren't going to actually be enforced to do it, they're not going to do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know what effect this is going to possibly have, but I certainly hope that things get better. But the rate things are going in the United States, we've got an insane explosion of coronavirus again. So there you go. Snake Eater 00 has subscribed to Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, Snake Eater, for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. CM Fool tipped me $1.30 and said, shame on me. Well, thank you, CM Fool, for the $1 tip, and shame right back on you. What he's talking about, if you're not aware, at the end of our Last of Us 2 stream, we all shamed each other very thoroughly on Monday night. A nice big tasting of shame, because that's what Mr. Druckmeister wanted us to feel, along with the plot. So we all shamed each other very thoroughly. Kate cheered and said, happy Wednesday. Did you know the third offense gets you to play the Quiet Man? Oh, no. I hope not, because I don't want to play that thing. Lysifer Soul tipped me $10. Thank you, Lysifer Soul, for a $10 tip. He says, I love how you're doing these new types of pre-streams where you talk about stuff going on. I enjoy these new types of pre-streams where I talk about stuff going on. You know, years ago, I said one of my ideas when I was going to rebrand and do stuff was going to be a gaming news show. And it never came to fruition. Never. I never got to do it. Now my pre-streams are basically a news show. And I'm okay with that. I have fun with it. So I hope you guys enjoy it and are having fun with it. I will continue to do this as long as you guys like it. But the thing is, here's the key. This pre-stream show is just that, a pre-stream talk show. It's not my main content. My main content is always going to be gameplay, or in the case of today, a special celebratory event. But it's not going to be this. This is something that we can do as fun before we actually get to the meat of everything. All right? But I don't want my content to become all drama crap and talking about speculation and shit. I want to actually put out meaningful content for you guys, which is why I'm going to continue to do, you know, gameplay streams as my main meat of my content. Fair enough? Ladies and gentlemen, fuck Morrowind, play Oblivion. Just tipped me $25 and said, fuck Morrowind, play Oblivion. First of all, I would love to play Oblivion. I started playing it and stopped, but I would love to actually go back now and do it as a full playthrough now that I do chill-style streams. But people wanted Morrowind first, so that's what we've been playing. It's on hiatus for now, and that's what we're going back to. Eventually, would I play Oblivion? Yes. But we're not going to do it right now. But you've tipped $25. That pushed us right into the first tier tips for today. So we've reached the tips goal already. That means that when we actually start with me being on camera, I'll wear a vest today. How cool is that? We haven't even started any content yet, really, besides the pre-stream. We've already hit the tips goal. Now, I told you guys what we were going to do for today. I said, if we double the tips goal, basically I'm going to count it as a double streak. So it'll go to 162. And it'll be your choice if you want me to wear the gunner glasses or you guys want me to wear a different, whatever you want, okay? We'll see, but we've already hit the tier 1 tips goal. We didn't even start. Thank you guys for the support, okay? This is how I play the game. Tip me $1. I'm literally just going to read it and then move on because it's very stupid. He says, I don't know why you keep throwing out conspiracy theories about video game reviews. It's been proven false multiple times. It's never happened. No one's ever proven me false. Also, like, who cares, man? Someone has a different opinion than you on a game, man. That doesn't mean they're kissing ass, man. They just like that game a lot, man. Well, the dude, all I have to say to you is, you're welcome to your own opinion, and I'm welcome to mine. And if you can't stand that on planet Earth, someone can have an opinion different than yours, you can leave. We got a rocket. It's called SpaceX. It's getting ready to rev. The moon is calling, bro. All right. Last Rambo did a 50-bit cheer. He says, since you criticized early reviews, people are confused because you played Fallout 4 and a game or two early. What is the difference? Sure, I'll tell you the difference. When I played those games early, I didn't have any embargo on me. I was not expected to pull punches. And I didn't. In fact, I remember being very critical of Fallout 4 when it came out, saying, oh my god, the whole crafting system that's new is kind of cumbersome and annoying, and I don't like it. Oh my god, these settlements are so fucking annoying. Oh my god, the graphics are choppy in this place. It wasn't, there was no expectation of overly positive anything, alright, at all. I was allowed 100% when I played Fallout 4 to say and do whatever I wanted during that playthrough. Okay? There was no expectation of further collaboration with Bethesda just because they gave me that early copy of the game. The other things you're talking about are complete lunacy because the other games, the major games that I played early, one of them was because Howard had a fighting game early and I played it early because I wasn't going to be able to play it during release because I was going to an event, a convention. So that had nothing to do with it. I didn't even own the game myself. I just played it a few days early. The other one you're talking about is Dark Souls 3 when people got the Japanese version early and I played the Japanese version and I criticized the shit out of it. So there's a difference between, oh, I got an advanced copy and there's an embargo and now I can't even criticize the fucking game because this is a paid advertisement versus, oh, I got the game early and I can say and do whatever I want because the company actually cares about fair and balanced criticism. Do you see the difference? I hope so. Jumpstart just cheered. He said, I'm glad we're taking a trip down memory lane once again. I have to go to work in a bit. I actually won't be able to attend, so I'm wondering if you're taking video requests and cheers or chat. For now, no. Okay, for now, no. We've got a big list of stuff that people have nominated ahead of time. And by the way, Kate, I didn't realize that you were the top cheerer. We're getting you up on the leaderboard right now so that you have the top spot because you do deserve it. You did 100-bit cheers bigger than everyone else's earlier. There's a chance later on in the stream I will take open nominations, but not right now. Definitely not right now. Okay. Bulletproof 2014 has subscribed to the channel for 18 months. Thank you very much, Bulletproof, for the ongoing support. I appreciate that. Timbo's... Ow. Smashed my leg. Fuck. Timbo Slice just did a 50-bit cheers. Is going back to the 90s, were you a fan of Beavis and Butthead? They announced Comedy Central has ordered 2 new seasons of the hit cartoon sitcom to bring it back. Back then, I was a fan. Mostly because my cousin and actually my parents were fans, if you can believe it. And so I watched some of it back then. I wasn't in love with it or anything, but I watched some of it. Now, Beavis and Butthead was already brought back in 2011. They had a season on MTV that no one really liked. Everyone kind of criticized it. It wasn't great. It didn't really feel like the original show. So I don't know how this one's going to go. But I guess we'll see. I guess Beavis and Butthead return again. Another 10 years later. Lucifer Soul, to me, $20 says a 255 character tip message or a sincere private letter would not express the joy I just watched your videos has brought me. Oh, the joy watching your videos has brought me. And many of your viewers untold happiness. So stay this way. Alright, you're welcome, Lucifer Soul. And don't worry, I'm never going to become a paid shill. And I'm never going to be one of these guys who is overly positive and pulls punches. I'm always going to be an indie guy. It's you guys supporting me through crowdfunding is the reason why I'm able to be myself on a daily basis on stream. Because I'm not a paid shill, because I don't have partnerships with companies to say positive shit about games. That's why I get to still be here on a daily basis, and I hope you guys understand that. So thank you for that support. Thank you for allowing me to be who I am. Timbo Slice cheers. With the class action lawsuit coming out for Nintendo, I'm starting to think this shortage of Switches is somehow connected. Excuse me. I feel it's possible Nintendo was planning on coming out with new systems and new joysticks and stock production of the old models. Is it a possibility? Yes. Is that pure speculation? Yes. There's no facts showing one way or the other. Likely, tons of people ran out and bought the Switch because of the coronavirus. Or bought the Switch online because of the coronavirus. Alexander Rossi cheers. It just announced Beavis and Butthead are getting 2 brand new seasons on Comedy Central with Gen Z humor. Do you have any fond members of the show, and are you going to watch the new seasons? Frog Baseball. And I actually saw the Beavis and Butthead movie in theaters with my dad, too. Lunaba. Tipped $10. Tipped. Lunaba tipped $10 and said, party! Thank you, Lunaba, for a $10 tip in the support of the stream. We're now a third of the way to hitting the tier 2 tips goal. So thank you guys for that. TM52 Twitch just cheered and said, do you consider the corruption of games industry part of the greater phenomena of fake news and post-truth today? Why or why not? Can it be argued there's a legal interest in having reviewers keeping their products secret for the sake of sales, but the way it is, it seems they're so corrupt and to be excessive. The same kind of phenomena happened in government, media, business, and other sectors of society. 70 years of humaniziness leads to that humaniziness. Wow. That's pretty heavy. That's a lot of conspiracy in there. I don't know. The way I see it, whenever money gets involved in anything, that's when it gets corrupted, right? Video games were a lot more pure before they became ginormous business, the biggest entertainment industry in the world, and it all became about paid shilling. It was a different time. Even just 10 years ago when I started on YouTube, it was such a different experience than it is today. You know, being able to go out and get a game on day one. There weren't 5 million paid advertisement reviews and streams about it already. And people would all judge for themselves. Now it's very different. So, if there's a conspiracy in there, I guess I say yes. I don't know. I have no idea. Wario2255 tipped me $1.30 and says, will you play Devil May Cry 2 one day? And will you play Shin Megami Tensei 5 when it comes out? Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. Maybe I'll play Devil May Cry 2 if you guys ever want to see it. Excuse me. I screwed that up. I have the collection on PS3, but I never played 2 because you guys told me 2 is the worst one. I should never play it. As for Shin Megami Tensei, I don't know anything about it. I can't speak to that. You guys realize that there are viewers' choice events that happen, right? I'm just saying. That's actually how I originally started playing Persona to begin with. Ultimate Cloud 7 has gifted a subscription to Dragon Quest Fan. Thank you very much, Ultimate Cloud 7, for the support of the channel. ATS318 cheered, says you should dress up as Barry from Alan Wake this Halloween. No. SRVKO24 has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, SRVKO, for the support. Kate did 100-bit cheers. What's your thoughts on childhood snacks coming back in the modern era? I think they're delicious. All right. Let's give a shout out to the top contributors of the week so far. Keep in mind the week is young. Top cheerers of the week. We got in 10th place Angelo Bestia. In 9th place Golden Colts. In 8th place Spartan King. Tied with Only Iced Coffee. Tied with Awesomeness Kaboom. So technically it's a triple tie for 6th place. In 5th place we got Crab Cock. In 4th place Golden Nobles. In 3rd place Panda Girl Reborn. In 2nd place Nonsense Gaming Live. And in 1st place so far for this week with a 1,500 bits cheered total, Ace Best. Thank you, Ace Best. And then thank you to the following people who all gifted subscriptions this week so far. We got Ultimate Cloud, who gifted 1, Lunaba, who gifted 1, Golden Nobles, who gifted 2, and Only Iced Coffee. Slow start to the week, only gifting 8 subs. That's just me being silly. Obviously, 8 subs is a lot. Thank you very much, Only Iced Coffee, for your support. I appreciate that very much. Fred Flintstone cheered. He said, Derek says it's Canada Day today here in Canada, and he's looking forward to today's big retrospective marathon event and the nominations. WWE Sims are always funny, and he picked out the funny ones. I think I got one in there. At least one WWE Sim. But the thing is, you can't do more than like 1 or 2, because then it's going to be too much of the same, and it ain't as fun. But I think I got one of those in there, so. Macaroni Virus tipped me $1.30. Said a creepy freak of nature posted a video of Animal Crossing. His room is the exact replica of your office with the laptop and noise-canceling wall. There are pictures. Okay, well, the guy's a fucking freak. What can I say? There are freaks on the internet who do freakish things because they're freaks. You can't stop a freak from existing. What you can do is not acknowledge their existence. Tryhard for Life cheers. Said, hey, DSP, you know the biggest frog in the world is the Goliath frog, which lives in West Africa and measures more than a foot in length and weigh more than 7 pounds, as much as a newborn baby. Yes, now I know that. Blanca Balls tipped me $1.30 and says, what percentage of your audience do you think dates back to the 2009 to 2012 era? Because in short, old versus relatively new viewers, with people changing names, tipping under different names, etc., do you feel like you have an idea of the number of people who are old school fans? No. I only know what you guys tell me. If you guys tell me you're an old school fan who's been around a long time, great. If you guys tell me I'm a new fan who just joined, great. If you guys tell me I started watching during your Remember Me playthrough, I say, how the fuck do you remember me? Because I don't remember me. Yet apparently I did, because I just remembered it. Right? So, there are many things that I've done over the years. And it's really awesome that there are longtime viewers. And if you are one of those longtime viewers, shout out to you. Thank you for the support over the years. Thanks for remembering me. See how I tied that together? But I welcome everyone to the streams, new and old. And there's no way for me to ever tell accurately who's who. So, welcome new and old to the retrospective. This should be a fun stream. Timbo Slice Cheers said another company's been hit with COVID issues. NPC International Inc., the largest franchise of Pizza Hut restaurants in the U.S., has filed for bankruptcy. They also own Wendy's. Let's clarify here. It is not Pizza Hut and Wendy's that have filed for bankruptcy. There is a company out there that owns a lot of franchises of Pizza Hut and Wendy's. You may not understand that if you don't understand how franchises work. And I really don't want to explain that practice because it would take too long and no one on my stream cares. Alright? But essentially, there's over 100 Pizza Hut locations, maybe more. And I believe they were saying hundreds of Wendy's locations around the world that were so negatively affected by COVID, people not buying their food anymore, that they filed for bankruptcy protection. Alright? All this means is that you may see a bunch of Pizza Huts and Wendy's go out of business eventually, but other people may now buy those franchises. Okay? Which means they may still operate just under new management. But we'll see what happens. I mean, that's obviously bad. You would think that the fast food industry would have been immune because people were still able to keep working at those jobs, to order food from those jobs and restaurants when the whole lockdowns were in effect. Yet, apparently not so. Apparently it did affect it really negatively, right? Somebody tipped $2, tipped me $2. It says, oh, I'm not reading that, but thanks for the tip. There you go. Thanks for $2 tip. Somebody tipped $2 who says, I'm not reading that, but thanks for the tip. Watching Phil's stream tipped me $1 and says, I wonder if you could clarify for me, are you saying it's okay for people to get early game copies as long as there's no expectation they'll kiss the game's ass? I don't think, here's the thing. Yes, but I don't think people can be trusted. That's my clarification. If people got early review copies and there was zero review embargo, like, you got it now, you could review whatever you want, say whatever you want, because that's what honest journalists do, I would fully probably support the practice. The problem is that's the honor system. You're basically putting the trust in the hands of the reviewer that reviewer is going to do the right thing. I don't trust them. I don't. Sorry, I don't, but I just don't. I think that people innately look out for themselves. We've learned this during this whole coronavirus issue. And we know that people only want to do what's in their best interest. And therefore, if they give the game a positive review so they can get further collaboration with the company, they will, regardless of the fact that that's how they actually feel. And therefore, even though in an ideal society, in an ideal world, if we could have that promise that you get the game early, you'll review it fairly, then I would say yes, but there's no promise of that. Therefore, I don't agree with early review copies at all. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the overwhelming support already. We've been on stream for an hour and a half already, if you can believe it. I've been talking for a good 45 minutes to almost an hour. Actually, no, I've been talking for almost an hour and a half. The stream's been live for almost 2 hours. It's been a very lengthy pre-stream, but hopefully you found it as a good one. What I would say is this. If you guys like these pre-streams, spread the word about them. Let people know Phil's doing a different kind of pre-stream. He doesn't advertise anymore. He actually talks about issues and fun stuff and has discussions, because people probably don't know about this. They just think Phil's the guy who's going to shill for 2 hours before he starts playing games. But it's different now. So I'd appreciate that if you could spread the word so that we can actually have more people maybe tune in and enjoy before I get to gameplay. And hey, maybe some of the people will actually stay for the meat of the streams too, right? All right. Alice Telemon cheers. If we keep cheering, will you piss your pants? Yes. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a brief break. I'm going to use the restroom. When we come back, we're going to start with the retrospective. As you guys know, it's going to go all day long. This ain't no regular stream, son. This is a special one. So thank you very much for all your support on the pre-stream. We've already hit $139 in tips, and we haven't even started with the retrospective. So I'll be right back with fun retrospective stuff. But give me a minute. Let's play some music. And I'll take a leak, and I'll be right back.